Hey, Kiva Cubs! Mrs. Hoffer here for today's English language knowledge lesson. Friends, after today's lesson, you will know how to recall facts about kings and queens. So you'll know how to remember the facts about kings and queens we learned. You'll understand the tier 2 word marry, and you'll be able to draft a narrative story about Old King Cole. So you'll be able to make a first draft, a kind of like a test run of a story, which is a narrative story, which a narrative story, Keeble Cubs, is a story that tells a sequence of events about Old King Cole. Keeble Cubs, what are some facts that we have learned about kings and queens so far in this unit that you can tell me? Some of the things I remember are that they live in palaces. They are born into the royal family. There used to be a lot more in older times, but now there are fewer kings and queens. They have lots of golden treasure. Many things we have learned so far about the royal family. Friends, who are kings and queens and what do they do? What did we learn about this? And who are kings and queens really? That's right, Keeble Cubs. Good job. We learned that kings and queens are leaders of countries. They rule over their kingdom. Remember, friends, we learned that kingdom is the area of land that the kings and queen reign over. Remember, reign means to rule. Friends, where did we learn that kings and queens live? That's right, Keeble Cubs. Kings and queens live in castles or palaces within their kingdoms. Good job. Friends, what advantages and disadvantages of being a prince and a princess in a royal family are? What are the disadvantages and advantages of being a prince or a princess? Some of the advantages are that they have treasure, they live in palaces, they can eat basically anything they want. They're a prince and a princess. But some of the disadvantages are that they have to act a certain way and that they often have arranged marriages. Friends, can you tell me what a crown prince is? What did we learn what a crown prince is, Keeble Cubs? That's right, good job. A crown prince is the oldest son who will become the next king in their kingdom. Friends, remember, kings and queens and their children were the most important and powerful people in their kingdom. Friends, now we're going to read a nursery rhyme called Old King Cole, who lived a long time ago and died at a very old age. Friends, remember, nursery rhymes are short poems that are written for young children long ago. Now, friends, we're going to review some words that have different beginning sounds but end with the same sounds. These words are rhymes. Friends, if I say a word, two words that you think rhyme, put your thumbs up. If you think the words don't rhyme, put your thumbs down. Let's get started. Keeble Cubs, do these words rhyme? Cat and hat. Yes, they do. Good job. Make and cook. Good job. Thumbs down. Make and cook don't rhyme because they don't end in the same sound. Big pig. Do they rhyme, Keeble Cubs? Yes, they do. Good job. Coat and goat. Good job, Keeble Cubs. Thumbs up. Coat and goat are rhyming words. And finally, dog and prince. Do these two words rhyme, Keeble Cubs? What do you think? That's right, friends. Good job. Dog and prince do not rhyme. Thumbs down. Friends, now it's time for today's read aloud. Today, we're going to be reading a story called Old King Cole. After the story, Keeble Cubs, you should be able to describe the actions of Old King Cole as well as being able to show the understanding of the Tier 2 word marry. Cable Cubs, make sure to listen very carefully to see if you can figure out whether King Cole was a happy king or a sad king. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers three. Every fiddler had a very fine fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Oh, there's none as rare as can compare with King Cole and his fiddlers three. Friends, now we're going to reread or sing if you want to the rhyme with the guided listening support. Let's get started. Friends, before we get to restarting to reread the story, tell me about what you notice in this picture. What are some interesting things that you notice in this picture, Cable Cubs? What are some features that you notice that make you know that this is a king? I know for sure one of the features I can tell that he is a king is that he's wearing a crown. And Cable Cubs, when you look at King Cole right here, what do you think he's feeling? What emotion do you think he's feeling? Is he feeling happy or is he feeling sad? Old King Cole was a merry old soul. Friends, this means he was a happy person. And a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe and he called for his bowl. Friends, a bowl is a large cup or goblet that you can drink from, that we see right here, that he's drinking from. So he called for his cup and he called for his bowl and he called for his fiddlers three. Friends, fiddlers are people who play a fiddle or a violin. So we see three fiddlers, fiddlers three, playing the fiddles and violin right over here. Every fiddler had a very fine fiddle, and a very fine fiddler had he. Oh, there is none so rare as can compare with King Cole and his fiddlers three. Friends, when we say there is none as rare as can compare, we're saying that there are a few things that could be better to old King Cole and his three fiddlers having such a good time. Good job, Cable Cubs. Friends, do you remember the echo technique we learned about in the nursery rhymes and fables domain? Now we're going to practice it. I'm going to say the first line of Old King Cole to you, and then I will stop, pause, and you will echo the words back to me. So, echoing as in repeat the exact same words that I just said. Remember, friends, like I said, echoing is the exact same words that I had just said. We will then continue doing this for every line of the rhyme. Let's get started. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe and he called for his bowl. Echo the line now, Cable Cubs. And he called for his fiddlers three. Every fiddle had a very fine fiddle, and a very fine fiddle had he. Oh, there's none such as rare as can compare with King Cole and his fiddlers three. Good job, Cable Cubs. Friends, do you think we would describe King Cole as a happy or a sad king? What do you think? That's right, Cable Cubs. King Cole was a happy king. And how do you know that he was a happy king? What are some of the things that we learned in the story that tell us that he's happy? That's That's right, friends. Some of the things we learned that made us know that he was happy was that he was described as merry, that he likes music, and that he enjoys the simple pleasures in life. Good job, friends. Friends, what was the name of the main character that we just learned about in the rhyme? That's right, Keeble Cubs. Old King Cole was the name of the main character in the rhyme. Good job. And friends, what three things did old King Cole ask for in the rhyme? What three things did he ask for, Keeble Cubs? Good job, friends. The three things that he asked for were his pipe, his bowl, and his three fiddlers. Good job. Friends, how do you know the main character is a king in this story? Which part of the poem tells you that, Keeble Cubs? That's right, friends. Some of the things in the story that told us that King Cole was a king is that his name is King Cole. So we know that just by calling him King Cole, he's a king. He is dressed like a king in the pictures. You can see a crown on his head, which is something that a king wears. And he calls for his pipe, bowl, and fiddlers and is given all three. So the fact that he's given everything he wants is a sign that he's a king because kings get everything they want when they ask for it. Good job, friend. Keeble Cubs, in the read aloud, you heard old King Cole was a merry old soul. Say the word merry with me. Merry. Merry. Good job. Keeble Cubs, merry means happy. It can also describe someone who is happy or an occasion that is happy. For example, Alvaro was merry on the day of his birthday party. So that means Alvaro was happy on the day of his birthday party. Friends, tell me about a time that you were merry. When you tell me, pause the video and try to use the word merry. Answer by saying, I was merry when, and tell me about when you were merry. Pause the video now. Good job, Cubs. Friends, what is the word we've been talking about? That's right, Keeble Cubs. The word we've been talking about is merry. Good job. Friends, now I'm going to name some things that are merry and some things that are sad or not merry. If the things are merry or happy, say blank is merry. If the thing is not merry, say blank is sad. Remember to answer in complete sentences, Keeble Cubs. Let's get started. A birthday party. That's right, Keeble Cubs. A birthday party is merry. Getting sick and missing a fun activity. Good job, Keeble Cubs. Getting sick is sad. Winning a soccer game. Good job, friends. Winning a soccer game is merry. Next is playing with two kittens. Is this merry or sad, Keeble Cubs? That's right. Playing with two kittens is merry. And friends, lastly, falling down and hurting your knee on the sidewalk. Is this merry or sad? Good job, Cubs. Falling down and hurting your knee is sad. Friends, now I'm going to put the picture of old King Cole, so the picture we saw from the story, on the screen. And I want you to tell me a short sentence about the picture. So a short sentence on things that you notice from the picture of old King Cole. Then you will also combine two sentences to make one longer sentence about the story. Let's get started. Friends, now that the picture of old King Cole is on the screen, tell me a short sentence about the picture. An example of this is that the men are dancing. We see here, the men are dancing, and that is a complete sentence, Keeble Cubs. We also see that The men are wearing red. Say that, Cable Cubs. Repeat that sentence. The men are wearing red. Good job. Now, Cubs, let's combine those two sentences that we just made about the story. Let's combine the sentences. Let's combine the sentences, the men are dancing, and the sentence, the men are wearing red. Good job, friends. Some of the possible combinations of those two sentences are the men are dancing and wearing red, or the dancing men are wearing red. Keep it up, friends. Okay, another example of one short sentence is that the king has white hair. Another short example, friends, would be that the king likes music. You know that because he calls for his fiddler three. So, friends, if we have the sentences, the king has white hair and the king likes music, how do we combine those two short sentences together into one longer sentence? That's right, friends. An example of this could be that the king has white hair and likes music, or the king with white hair likes music. Good job, friends. Kibo Cubs. Now, what ones can you figure out on your own? Friends, who is the main character of this read aloud? That's right, Kibo Cubs. It was old King Cole. And how do you know he was a king again, Kibo Cubs? What told us he was a king? That's right, friends. We know he was a king because he dressed like a king, such as by wearing a crown, and that he gets everything he asks for. Good job. Okay, Kiwi Cubs. Next, I'm going to put the picture of King Cole, old King Cole, back on the screen, and it's your turn to get a piece of blank paper and a pen or a pencil, and I want you to write your own short story about old King Cole. You can create any story you wish about the character we learned about, old King Cole. Friends, remember, these stories have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Friends, what are some ideas that we could be using in our stories about Old King Cole? What do you think? I think some things that we could talk about are the king, maybe about Old King Cole, the king in general, maybe about his castle or his palace. That he used the words royal and throne. Remember, a throne is the chair that a king sits on. You could use the words once upon a time to start. So at the beginning of your story, you could use the words crown in your story. You could talk about the king's crown. There's so many options and things that you could use to write a short story about old King Cole. Let's get started. All right, friends. So here we have the picture up again of old King Cole. And remember it, now that you have your paper and your pen or pencil, you are going to write a short story about old King Cole using some words that we learn like king, castle, throne, anything that you can think of about old King Cole, Cable Cubs. Let's get started. Good job, Kilo Cubs, creating your short story about Old King Cole. Remember, make sure you store, so you keep your story about Old King Cole that you just created, because we are going to be using it again in tomorrow's lesson. Good job, friends. All right, Kilo Cubs, that's all we have for today. Good job, and keep up the great work.